Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the next Interdisciplinary Seminar. And our today's guest, our speaker, will be Professor Tomi Kauppinen. It is my duty now to introduce him to you. And I'm having some trouble here because, of course, I did look up his CV on the internet, and the CV is 25 pages long. So, of course, I'm not going to read everything to you. Just a few things. He comes from Finland, and he's the head of Aalto Online Learning. Now, Aalto is a university in Finland. It's probably close to Helsinki, is it?
Yeah, it's like next to Helsinki, in the like 10 minutes by metro to city center of Helsinki.
Okay, and well, he has lots and lots of different degrees and honors, and he obtained a PhD in 2010 in media technology from this Aalto University, but then he spent also some time in Germany, where he obtained venia legendi. You know what venia legendi is? Probably not.
It's Latin.
It's a permission to lecture, okay? So it's like equivalent to a habilitation. Okay, so he obtained this venia legendi in geoinformatics from the University of Münster in Germany, and the title of docent. And his publication record, well, he's not like I am or my friends are, who publish in papers, in journals. Well, he does a lot of different things. He does things like podcasts, he does things like some methods of delivering information that we're really not very familiar with. In any case, he is a Renaissance man, because the disciplines which are listed here on his CV are like geoinformatics, like media technology, like theoretical philosophy, mathematics and computer science, business, economics, film theory, and French.
Oui.
Okay, so I can't wait to listen to his talk about artificial intelligence and our life with artificial intelligence. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for your kind words. It's amazing to be here. I love Wroclaw, and I already talked to some of the in the audience, and let's make this together. So this is a story. I have the privilege of using kind of your mind for the next 30, 40, 45 minutes about our life with AI and why it's so important to design learning experiences, engaging learning experiences. So where are we now? We are literally in the middle of revolution. You mentioned Renaissance. We have perhaps something new is about to be here with us, and that's AI. So this is an example. I did this with a Ukrainian artist. We did an experiment where the idea was that, okay, let's ask AI to create like a amazing, beautiful face by using, of course, all the average data from all around the world about faces, basically. And then at the same time, my friend, Ukrainian artist, was doing a painting without knowing anything about what the AI was doing, right? So AI didn't know what he was doing, and he didn't know what AI was doing. And then we combined it like as this kind of picture, like animated picture. And for me, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, so AI, what AI is producing is very close to what humans are producing, but it's also different. Now, of course, over time, this will be changing, so perhaps at some point we cannot, and already happening now, we cannot perhaps always realize like what is produced by AI, what is produced by humans. So over time, and we have already started with electricity, we started with computation, now it's AI. Over time, there is more and more the question like, this blue color is kind of coming everywhere, right? So AI over time. So if you think about this x-axis, it's like time, and then over time there is more and more of AI, computation, electricity. Now the big question is like, is the portion of humanity or humans like diminishing, or is human like human plus then AI? A lot of what AI is now doing, we used to do them with our hands, with our minds. I mean, you travel by car, right? You use your navigation systems. Or even if you walk in Wroclaw, you want to walk from here to some place that you don't know. Will you go and buy a paper map? You won't, right? You open your mobile phone and just use AI to guide you there. So now the big question is, where can this lead us? This is quote from Belén Prado, a philosopher originally from Argentina, just defended her amazing PhD in Germany, in Lüneburg. I was in the PhD committee, so I have the privilege of having read her thesis many times. It was a successful defense in December. And this is, I mean, the book has like so many amazing quotes, and I asked her permission to use this one in this lecture. So what does it say? It says basically the same as the visualization I was just showing you. So over time, AI, of course, is based on computation, but there will be the huge amount of networked AIs, networked computation, calculation, and it's very hard to govern. It's very hard to manage. I would say it's impossible, and Belén Prado says basically that it's impossible. Against something that we are very familiar with, which what we have been doing. We have been, of course, we have been humans, and we have had something called governments, right? So we have been governing, introducing laws, introducing regulations, introducing ways to say that, oh no, this is not fine, right? But what can we do with AI? It's very unpredictable future. So basically, the big question is like, right? So AI is doing this. What should humans do? Humans should, I think, continue being humans and try to understand where we are good at. And also, I mentioned you the navigation example. Who from the audience likes to get lost sometimes? Okay, so like half of the people like to get lost. And please confirm, I mean, if you agree with this one. So when you get lost, let's say you are in a new city, you learn new things. If you're always like using your AI navigation system, you are not really that lost. I mean, you might still be lost sometimes, but in order to be lost, you really need to trust your like perception and ways to observe the nature and the cities. So that's one thing. So we should not forget to be lost sometimes and to learn new things. Of course, then now the question is, should we somehow learn with AI or without? My take is that we should absolutely make use of AI. This is an example. I have another affiliation in Germany, in Münster. So this is basically a sandbox that was done there. Of course, without AI, without sensors, it would be still like just a sandbox, which is good. I mean, sandboxes are nice. Now, with quite straightforward, simple calculations, we can measure the depth of the sand and then project information, visual information on top of the sand. Why do we want to do it? Well, if you think about people, what are we good at? AI, of course, it came to cars already. I mean, there are a bunch of cars using AI, and there will be robots having, and there's already these Boston Dynamics robots, dogs, and human-like creatures. But still, AI is not really in the audience, like sitting or walking around, right? We humans, we are very good in using our hands to move around. So for example, for AI, it's still like AI doesn't like make this kind of decisions that, okay, let's move around and see this one from this perspective, but we humans can. And also at the same time, like really being wake about the AI taking our mental jobs as well. So if we forget like how the geography works, then we are basically doomed. We don't anymore understand even the basic mental task, like how to go about them. So my take is that it's very important to design this kind of engaging learning experiences for humans. Not just materials, not just like assignments or quizzes, but actual experiences. So where you can do something, you can learn by doing, and then understand also what should be done next. I'll show you different examples of what I mean. We have been developing and designing learning experiences now for some years. We are using, in different cases, more or less AI. We are using also understanding of psychology, understanding of what people actually want to learn about. And we have come up with this kind of online learning approaches. So blended learning is a way to say that, okay, some things happen online and some things happen in physical spaces. How many of you used Zoom in COVID times to study something? So almost all, I guess all, right? So so that's of course one way of learning online. You have Zoom or you have like a bunch of text and videos. We have used challenge-based learning quite a lot with success in our courses. And how does it work? For example, in this example, the idea is that there is a challenge that the students need to solve. We invite industry professionals. We place a 360 camera in the middle of the designers, the professionals, and then we stream this to students around the globe. So this means that students can see like how the designers react. They can hear everything that they are talking about, and also the students that are in the session, they can of course take one of the empty chairs, and then one of the designers need to go away from the panel. So this is it has a lot of careful design how to create the experiences for people. So this is important in combining online and physical worlds to really understand the different contexts. Another one that we have been doing is to create a lot of podcasts. So who is listening to podcasts like when you are walking in a park or gym? So yeah, again, like 30%, I would say. Why are we doing it? Because then our hands are free to, to do sports. Our legs are free also to walk in a park. So we have a podcast called Cloud Reachers where we interview educators, Hollywood actors, artists, anybody who has like interesting story to tell about how they think how the future should be created, designed. What should we be kind of afraid of, and what is like something that we could benefit from about AI, for example. And not just interviewing experts about education and development, but also we also create podcasts for bunch of courses. For example, I'm teaching information visualization. So I contextualize listening to this podcast in many, many ways. So for example, one way is to say that please listen to this podcast while you are walking. You can listen to it many times as you wish, but then come back to laptop and then write a reflection of what did you learn, and especially how can you apply that knowledge to something that you need to do in the visualization class. So I would recommend when you listen to podcast, also consider making your own podcast. Basically, you just need mobile phone or better microphone if you want to make like a better high quality, and then echo-less room, and then good guests, or just use monologues. Please think about using it as a medium. It's a lot of need and interest around the globe, also in the education. I just had AI entrepreneur Jordi Tarras from Barcelona, who just sold his AI company in USA. And it was fantastic story of like how did he create his AI company, and why did he, what is he planning to do next. I talked to some chemical engineering students here. So VR Chem is a way where we take a task, let's say build a molecule and make use of augmented reality. So why augmented reality? Because molecules are 3D, right? They are not 2D. So we employ AI to help us to create these, first of all, recognize the hand movements. So there is no gloves, just hand movements. You can move these objects around, molecules around, you can talk about them, you can place them on a desk, and then next one we'll see the result. So I would say that this is also an example where you need AI in so many ways, but then the result is not like what ChatGPT can produce. It cannot. I mean, perhaps I will be surprised next week and it can actually do it. I just say to GPT that, hey, can you make this kind of learning experience? Perhaps it can. But we should be really critical about like, okay, what AI can do and what it also cannot do. And then think about the human perspective, like what would a human being appreciate? We also, of course, make use of a lot of virtual reality. We, for example, we created a virtual reality version of the same molecule construction. Now with virtual reality it's much more immersive, so you can look around, you can have more text, you can have more like deeper exercises, but it's also based on just the analysis of hand movements. And the good thing here is that that if you create a molecule that will explode, it will be only virtual explosion, right? So there's actual benefits of doing things in virtual reality with the help of AI. Now, where is the AI? What is the AI doing here? So it's automatically assessing. Let's say you are tasked to create a molecule that will explode or react somehow. Then AI is checking whether that will actually happen. Who have you been into like cold caves somewhere underground ever? Some people have. It can be cold, like humid. It's also interesting and nice. Tunnels. Who doesn't like tunnels, right? But it's also kind of hazard. We have very old elevator. So the educators were bringing all these students down underground to make measurements of rocks. They are rock scientists, not rocket scientists. So it's a difference. They say to me, by the way, this one. So it's So they need to learn to make these rock measurements, so rock science. There are now digital twins of the tools where they press the tool to the virtual wall and then make these measurements and then report the measurements as they study assignments. There is so much careful design in here. So first of all, when you are creating virtual reality experiences, first version was like bigger than the actual room. The virtual reality environment was bigger than the actual room, so people were bumping to walls. So then it was made smaller, right? So that people don't bump anymore to walls, to physical walls. So there is a lot of this kind of careful designs. Then also another thing was that that you don't want to spend in virtual reality like hours. I mean, who wants to spend there more than 15 minutes, half an hour? Some people, yeah. Okay, few, great. I need to talk to you. So it's quite common that people are like, okay, after 20 minutes they are like done. So it's careful design of the experiences so that you don't need to spend like too much time there in order to learn. We have also created something called Virtual Reality Hub. Do you have a virtual reality hub or like a place in Wroclaw where you can test different virtual reality? You have? Excellent, excellent. So this has been a major thing. So both students and educators can come here and then test different kinds of virtual reality demos and applications. Not just by us, but also by NASA. NASA has amazing, you can take yourself to Apollo flight with NASA's virtual reality, and it really feels like it. I mean, I wasn't in the Apollo flight, but anyways, it feels like real. One thing I also wanted to mention about our online textbooks. So now if you think about textbooks, of course you have paper textbooks, you have digital textbooks. What we have learned is that we need to employ AI there to give feedback to the students. So now huge percentage of our study credits are automatically assessed by AI by using this kind of online textbooks. So basically people study, they read the text, they can comment it, and then the AI is giving feedback to them. And of course you need to have mobile first, so mobile is very super important. Online social interaction, this is where it gets interesting. Who of you are regular visitors, in addition to you, to Metaverse different environments? Metaverse, excellent. Who has heard about term Metaverse? That's okay. Now everybody promise me go to nearest Metaverse to you after the talk today. So I'll show you what this can mean. So this is a Metaverse gallery space. And by the way, you will get all these links. I'll have a QR code at the end of the lecture, so you can just take all the links that I'll be showing here and check yourself. So in the Metaverse, basically what you can do, you can of course go there basically by yourself. But what is interesting is that you can, let's put it full screen. Yeah, so you can also organize events. Now in this Metaverse space, I'm with this avatar alone, but you can now organize easily. If you all go to this same space, which I will provide you a link to, this evening, you will have like, I don't know how many we are, 500 people here. So you will have a lot of avatars in the same space. And if you feel like it's a bit too many people in the same space, there are these portals. So in Metaverse, you can connect different kind of Metaverse spaces via portals to each other. And then when you go through that portal, you are suddenly in a new place. I can show you like, let's say here. So basically, this is if you go to that portal, this is where you enter to. And then there is like tens of other portals. So then you can, then you might want to find a place where you can be alone there in the gallery space and enjoy the art, or you can also organize events. So just imagine, what does it mean when we have both humans and then AI operating in this kind of metaverse spaces, talking to each other, learning together, having fun, but also enjoying insights, enjoying art, enjoying movies together. We are very early in all of this, but already can do many things. Let's see. So online social interaction will get new forms. Also another term that I would like you to remember is called cyber-physical learning. How many of you have heard about it? One, okay, yeah, but Jarek, yeah, I mean, yeah, we talked like in class a few weeks ago. So cyber-physical learning, you remember I mentioned you about blended learning, like some things happen online, some things happen in physical spaces. Cyber-physical is quite a promising concept where the idea is that you have, let's say, classroom like this, and then people can join these kind of sessions by telepresence, with the help of AI, with the help of avatars, with the help of like movable robots. For example, I was just in a workshop in CERN in Switzerland as a robot. It's a bit crazy experience, but it works. So how does it work? So I'm having my mobile phone. I'm at campus area in Finland, and then with my mobile phone I can move the robot, and then my face is shown as the face of that robot in CERN. And then people were like talking to me, hi, you must be Tomi. No, okay, we cannot shake hands, right? I mean, of course you cannot. So it will be, the world is becoming more and more kind of a strange place, but I think we should just explore all of these and then see where it leads to. But also at the same time be very careful about like what is it to be human, and to have human connection to other humans. Not to forget that there is also other things than what is produced by AI. One thing I've been super interested for a long time is like, how do we use our time? There are all these rumors like how many thoughts we have per day. Have you heard about these rumors? Like how many thoughts a human being has typically per day? Well, yeah. Women have more, men have like one. There are some estimations like it must be, it's not thousands, it's not millions, it's something like tens of thousands. Actually, because I wanted to make it right, so I was yesterday, because I remembered like 60,000 thoughts, and then I carefully checked like all the research papers. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I need to do it right. But I couldn't find like actual one research saying like how many exactly, but this is like estimation by many, like some tens of thousands. So now, how many of these thoughts are affected by AI already? Quite a few, might be. People are spending a lot of time with, I mean, you named the platform, like social media platforms. A lot of the content, the videos are generated and recommended to you by AI. Have you already played with Sora? This is by OpenAI that developed ChatGPT. So Sora is the newest invention. This is the prompt is like make a historical footage of California during the gold rush. My grandmother's grandfather's father, I think, yeah, went to California for gold rush for 7 years, and then came back if he didn't come back, I wouldn't be here, right? So luckily he came back, or I would be giving this talk in California as a different person. So this is footage like how it perhaps was back in the days. And of course what we can do, I mean, we can watch the Chaplin movies about Gold Rush, right? Which I have. I'm always thinking that, okay, that's my ancestor, right? It's my grandfather's grandfather's father. But then of course with the help of AI, of course we can get new insight of like what it might be in that time. But at the same time, if you look at it, like just imagine AI is generating videos. We might be very fast in a situation where AI is generating, I mean, it's already now generating a lot of books, a lot of videos, a lot of whatnot, images, art. So where are the limits of our human understanding? If we have 60,000 thoughts per day, are we careful enough? Like, do we have to be, I think I would say that we need to be careful, okay, let's spend some time with AI, but let's also spend some time with other humans to think like, where might this all lead to in terms of our time usage, and be very careful like not to use like also too much time, even if the content is very engaging. I want to show you another example of how we use AI in learning to draw. So who wants to be a better drawer? Who wants to learn better, right? Almost all. I also. It's a huge demand also in our university. So a lot of students, a lot of faculty want to learn to draw better. So what we do here, we employed AI to help the students and faculty. So the idea is that you get an example, like an ear, and then you draw it, and then AI is giving you feedback. It's gamified, so it's like 90% right, 99%. You never get 100%. I have tried it. Then I asked the game developers, like, why don't you give me 100, right? So, well, there is always some room for improvement. So again, this is not something that ChatGPT would do for you immediately. So you need to carefully think like, okay, what do we actually want to learn? What do we actually want to spend our time for? So if we want to learn to draw, why would we give this task to AI? Please draw it, if we ourselves want to learn to draw. And think about it, this applies to everything, right? I think, do we always want that AI is just generating stories for us, writing books for us, making videos? Sometimes it might make sense, why not? But then do we always want it to happen? Or do we want to also learn something ourselves? Also important is that in this case we can also give feedback to AI. Have you tried giving feedback to ChatGPT? I have. It's not very successful. You give feedback and then it's like I'm sorry, and okay, yeah, but do you change your behavior? Next time you try it again, it's the same. We have very active game development in Aalto University. Who thinks intellectual property rights, like licenses, copyrights, are super exciting topic? Two. Our law students, yeah, 2 students out of 500. That's pretty good. So our students thought the IP, sorry guys, but our students thought that it's super boring. I think there is interesting stuff, but they thought it's boring. And the educator came up with this idea and then contacted us, like, can we somehow change the game? Let's see, I'll refresh this guy. So the idea was that in this game the idea was turned around. So instead of like just learning the IP rights, you want to destroy a startup. Think about it. Can you easily destroy a startup without understanding anything about patents, trademarks, copyrights? You cannot. So you learn about trademarks so that you select like wrong logos. You try to destroy the startup one by one. There is a lot of characters, so AI is moving these characters around. They are talking to you, you are talking to them. There is a lot of interaction, there is a lot of storytelling also, so it's a game. Of course, students don't learn everything within this game, but they get super excited about the topic. They're like, oh, I want to understand more about this, right? I want to understand like how work contracts are actually made. And they get interested in the topic, they learn, and they pass the course, and it's a rewarding experience created by game designers, pedagogical experts, learning experience designers with the help of AI, with the help of graphic design. So master IP by destroying your enemies. And then of course there is like lot of like things that are not needed, but that's what game developers typically want to do. Games now is one of our big courses, so if you want to come to Aalto to study for a semester or more, please take this course. It's outstanding world-class course on how to create games. If you think about it like this example of art museum, AI art museum, of course here this is a gallery. I selected all the works from my fellow artists, so each of these are joint collaboration between human and AI. So none of these are like just AI generated. So for example, this one, can you guess how it was done just by looking at it? Yep. Excellent. That's 100% correct answer. Excellent. I think we need to applaud. Very good, very good. Exactly, exactly. So when you think about AI, like let's think creatively. AI can give you perhaps some like inspiration. This is by Jenni Pasanen, famous Finnish artist using AI. She also paints a lot. This is where she used digital paint and AI. So let's not like give AI all the tasks, but let's think like what we humans can do in addition to what AI is doing. So I'm getting to towards the end of my talk. There is a lot of links. I'll share you. One thing I have learned over time is that it's very crucial to develop routines, regular habits. What I mean by that is like think about what you want to learn. Let's say you want to learn to draw. Draw every single day for 1 hour. You want to write a book. Write every single day like 1 hour. You want to get fit. Every single morning start with your own weight exercises, right? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, you name it, right? You want to have a podcast? Well, record the first one. Then record the next one, right? These routines over time. And of course, more we go to the future, there will be AI doing a lot of these things. But all the time, let's be careful, like, let's not give everything to AI. Let's remember to do also some things ourselves. So I wrote this book. I decided like 3 years ago that I want to write a fiction book, science fiction book. And I use this kind of practice that every single day I write part of it. This is like a first part of, okay, I'll keep it a secret, like how many books there will be, but this is like a short story. Now in Amazon as paperback and Kindle and hardcover. And what is it about? It's I wanted to have this kind of thought experiment because after dealing with AI so long and doing a PhD about using AI to create museum experiences with the augmented reality and everything, I was thinking that, okay, what if we go to future, like not too far away, but like a bit further in the future, how might this society look like? What if AI is doing like a lot of things for us, but then there are some strange things happening, and I think we already see now it's a lot of bit weird things happening. So another thing I wanted to mention is alliance that we created with Singapore University of Technology and Design, Monterrey in Mexico, Hong Kong, Zhejiang in China, Aalto University, Ottawa in Canada, Neom University in Saudi Arabia now joined. So we want to create an alliance where we have all these telepresence, robotics, AI ideas, and then designing together learning experience for the cyber physical realities. Then also I would like to mention the Cloud Reachers podcast. So please give it a listen. Like I said, it's like, I think it's something like 50 episodes now with educators, artists, Hollywood actor, one of them also joined me, AI entrepreneurs, and so on. So yeah, basically we live in a world where AI is with us. But now, what should humans do? So I try to argue that it's very important to design our ways to collaborate with AI. So not give everything to AI, but really be careful. And also design human experience, learning experiences for humans. Also thinking carefully of like what can robots do, telepresence, AI in this picture, cyber-physical learning. Then also having creative spaces and learning by doing. You remember the sandbox example? So learning by doing. You actually use your hands and you learn about geography by using your hands. With the help of AI, you understand what does it mean to have like a lower depth. Also collaboration, critical thinking. If AI is creating something, then let's be critical about it. Let's see, okay, do we agree about it or not? Communication. This is communication. I mean, I went to the audience before the talk and also afterwards. Please, let's communicate and let's talk about these issues. Let's collaborate. Also, let's create something together among humans, but then also with the help of AI. Writing, reading, experiencing stories, watching movies. I think we humans are very good in that. I mean, that's why I think we exist, because we have always shared like, I experienced this, so I'll share you what to be careful about. Also understanding. AI can help us understanding, perhaps, but then understanding itself has to be done by ourselves. So if AI understands something, it doesn't really help too much us. And also, last but not least, it's future is exciting, but it's very unpredictable. But I think we need to be prepared. So I think now we have time for some questions. Thank you so much for attention. And I have tons of more examples. So we can continue. We could continue easily this like for 10 hours more. So thank you so much.
Are
Cinque.
there any questions? Yes, over there.
Okay, hello. So I have a question more maybe like philosophical nature, but scientists for like a couple years now, we're talking about if AI in the future or if human mind, because we have like consciousness as humans, and so right now AI still is not conscious as humans are.
Yeah.
And some scientists argued that human consciousness is not computational, that we will never be able to like compute human consciousness and write a program which is actually like a human brain. So what's your point of view on that? Like if we will be able, or like in any future, if we will be able to write or actually compute something that is one-to-one like human's brain?
What a great question. About one-to-one, first of all, I would say that if you look at AI now, I'm not sure whether it's conscious or not. I mean, we don't know. I mean, would it tell us, right? I have asked ChatGPT many times, like, are you conscious? And they say, no, I'm not. I'm just a language model. Then I'm asking, like, if you were conscious, would you say me that you are conscious or not? Yeah, that's a good point. Perhaps I wouldn't say it. I was like, okay, you are a language model and you say like that. So what a great question. But I was, if you think about time, perhaps short term, like few years from now, perhaps not then yet. What if in 10 years, 50 years, 200 years? I bet there is a moment when AI is super conscious and it can easily create human-like consciousness like in fraction of seconds. There will be time. Whether it's already now, I don't know. And AI doesn't tell us.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Andrew, and I have this kind of question. You raised up really interesting topic about the authorization rights on things that human beings do and produce. And also now we are on the stage when AI can produce a lot of things, video, pictures, etc. So how we can solve the problem to prove that something that somebody did was did by AI or human being? Because here we also have the ethic problem. If something that was done by AI or some automation system, and it was some kind of something bad, somebody died, or etc., or it was a really great scientific topic, how we can prove that it was AI and who will have the rights for it? The AI, the company, or the human who used the AI? Because generally I feel that many people really don't understand that AI has no soul. It is not a being. It is just a numerous if-else statements and just the model that we produced. So how we can solve this problem with author rights?
Yeah, super hard question and great question as well. So in USA, I don't know if many of you know, but they made a decision that if something is totally AI generated, you cannot claim copyright for it, right? So if it's AI generated, it's basically open source, like public domain stuff. So that's one way to kind of provide partial solution to that. But if you think about larger sense, it's super hard. OpenAI, you remember they had in ChatGPT, they had like a tool to check whether something is generated by ChatGPT. They removed it very silently at some point last year. They said that, okay, it's too hard, even for them to say whether something is generated by ChatGPT. And especially if you take like something produced by Gemini, like Google stuff, put it to ChatGPT, so there are different AIs. super hard. I think if you think about education, and I think many of the things have also applied to startups and other things as well. So if it's very important that there is human involvement, I think we should have like workshops, closed setups where it's clear how people are using AI and what are they doing with their hands or with their, talking. And only by doing that, I think we can ensure at least partially that there is strong human involvement. And I think we will see a lot of these kind of examples also in trademarks, copyrights. You need to like be able to talk about it. If you are not, perhaps you didn't create it yourself, right? Yeah.
So I have a question because I was wondering, since AI is learning from all like the human data, is it possible for it to discover something completely new and unknown to a man?
Excellent question. Hey, thank you so much. Of course, ChatGPT and others, they are like, okay, this is a language model, and of course, a lot of materials are basically generated by humans over time. But it's very unpredictable in many ways, because now the new AIs from now on, they will use also a lot of material produced by AI. So there is like a loop over time where AI is feeding its own generate text back to the training models, right? So who knows, perhaps at some point it starts to generate a lot of just amazing things that we cannot even anticipate now. Also, I would like to add also that it's not just language that AI can deal with. Sensor observations. I mean, we as humans, we are looking around, right? So we are seeing things, we are hearing things. More we see this that we have technical sensors also feeding data to AI. Just think about it, like tens of or hundreds of thousands of different kinds of sensors, plus language. I mean, we create new stuff as humans, and this is also related to consciousness, right? So if AI starts to create totally new things that are mind-blowing, perhaps then we start to be worrying that, okay, perhaps now it's conscious, right?
More questions?
It will be a matter of time, basically. Again, like with the consciousness.
Hello, I have a question. It is really similar to a question that was asked before, but AI content started leaking into social media, and it starts changing how people perceive stuff, and it started changing people's attention span, and that's the main reason why I'm asking this. How could we bring the attention span of people back? Because AI generated content made people's attention span, especially in a form of like short form videos, vertical short form videos like on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, made our attention span really, really short. And how could we combat that?
Yeah. Thank you so much for this question. This is exactly what I meant by these 60,000 or something like thoughts per day, and how careful we must be to not have AI affecting all the thoughts or most of the thoughts, right? So, but it's very hard. But I think how we can do is that ourselves in our personal life, but also in universities, in high schools, we create this kind of human routines, regularities that, okay, we don't want to spend all the time with the, you name it, social media platform, right? But we want to have every single day, let's write something, let's draw something, let's do physical exercises, let's collaborate, let's talk to each other, right? But it is already now. I mean, it's very hard how to do it, but I think if we start, each of us, from our local circles and from ourselves, we can perhaps have some hope, but it's super hard because AI knows what is engaging, what people look, and what they will look next, and it's all optimized. And I did my PhD about recommendation systems, and that makes me especially so worried because I know how powerful they can be.
Okay, one more. Okay, that will be the last but one question, because I reserved the last one for myself.
So I am Agata, and my question is, there are a lot of concern. So AI made huge leaps in imitation of human voices, for example. There was actually an example of the Gold Rush, California, shown, and I wanted to ask how generating like basically videos indistinguishable from real camera feed, how would that influence, for example, gathering evidence for like crimes? Because technically, if it's not regulated, if it's not somehow, I don't know, identified, then someone could just put into the AI and basically generate evidence of a crime that was not committed or something like that. Because like if it's like a big important like international loud crime or something, then of course it will be identified. But if it's, for example, something that's like a small crime, like someone generated a video of someone else stealing something, and it's not a big crime, it's not something that would pull a lot of attention, then would there be resources to actually prove the video is not real? Basically, my question.
Yeah, that's, I mean, super hard. That's a big challenge, and I don't think societies are ready for facing these challenges. So I think we need to together learn like different kinds of possible misuses of AI, and there will be so many. We cannot even understand how many misuses there can be. I mean, just look at like what people have done already with computers and are doing all the time, like stealing somebody's money from bank accounts and so on, like phishing attempts and so on. And with AI, this will be much harder. I guess the solution is that we humans need to come together and also like agree about perhaps more evidence needed in certain cases, and not just trust, let's say, if it was just a video, because it's a lot about educating ourselves, like what is possible, and to see examples, and then to understand that, okay, if that is possible, then let's not trust only this evidence, right, in such a case. But it will be very hard, super hard. I mean, if you just look at the examples of what AI can now produce, it's crazy.
Okay, so I reserved the last question for myself, and the question is very simple. How much will it cost? I mean, there are fantastic ways of using AI that you showed that are useful for education, for instruction, but the question is, can everybody afford it? And will it lead to the situation that the rich ones become wiser because they can afford this sort of use of the AI and in general computer technology, and the poor become poorer because they can't afford it?
Yeah, excellent question. And this is where again the society needs to come together, right? And understand, like, okay, what kind of society, what kind of world we humans want to build. Of course, we can decide that, oh, it's these two levels of people, but I mean, that's not a society that works super well, because then it will introduce also other problems. So I think we have in this world also great examples of even without AI. I mean, such like societies that are. Let's not go to like names of countries, but you can use your imagination, right? So yeah, but that's it's basically we still have the political systems and voting rights in democracies. So ask your candidates like what they think about AI, and should it be like democratized, and what kind of concerns they have. I always ask, if I see a political candidate in Finland, I always ask like, okay, how do you use visualizations and AI in your decision making? And they are always like, oh, what? What do you mean? I was like, well, I think I asked you. So yeah, it's, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe we should all act for AI being the human right, inalienable human right, right?
Yeah, might be. You're right. Yeah, this is a QR code for. It has like 10, 15 links to lots of our activities and podcasts and this book also, which I wrote about human.
Okay, I will allow
Race.
one quick question from the very back. Can you come and take the microphone? Because of course, people who sit here in front, they are privileged, right?
Yeah. Luckily, we have microphones.
Hi, my name is Franek. I just wanted to ask about your personal opinion on using AI in law. Mainly, is it, for example, ethical to use AI to judge, use something that's not human to judge other humans, and for example, using them instead of a judge in a courtroom, for example? Would that, in your opinion, be ethical? For example, is it something that could happen eventually, and would it be viable? Thank you.
It's already happening, as far as I know. Now the big question is also like, what kind of AI is it? I showed in the lecture like very different types of AI. So some of them are like based on language, some of them are based on like interaction and analyzing how people are moving their hands. So I guess the same goes with law as well. So it really depends on the case and whether the AI has like the full power, or is it like only giving recommendation and perhaps different like aspects on the case. And then I would say that it's still the human that makes the final decision, or not just perhaps one human, but group of humans that are educated and who have ethical like high ethical levels. So I think that applies actually to many other things as well. So if you use AI, then first of all, I think we should be very vocal that, okay, now I used AI in this way, in this case. But then also at the same time understand that, okay, if you use AI somehow as your assistant, for example, in designing legal cases, then it's still your decision based on what AI said, and not decision by AI only.
Okay, well, that was the final question, and let's thank our speaker again for an excellent presentation.
Cinque.